Good evening. Thank you very much. You may be seated. And before we begin, I do want to apologize for being a little bit late this evening, finishing up some details before I came over and talked to you this evening about something that's very important, and that is infrastructure. I know I talked about it just a few days ago, but that shows how important it is under my administration to ensure that we got an infrastructure development program um, in the works and one that actually is a feasible program. Later on this week, we'll be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to discuss in detail with the citizens of Harrisburg the infrastructure program and what it means for that great community. But we come together to unfold a comprehensive plan aimed at enhancing our nation's infrastructure. This initiative is not merely about fixing things. It's a deliberate effort to strengthen and modernize critical elements such as roads and bridges. The number one item on the agenda is improving infrastructure. Our commitment to improving infrastructure goes beyond immediate repairs. This initiative is a strategic and forward looking endeavor aimed at enhancing the very foundation of our nation. We recognize that our roads, bridges, and other essential structures form the backbone of our society, facilitating economic activities, connectivity, that's hard to say, and the overall well being of our citizens. This improvement plan involves a meticulous assessment of current infrastructure conditions, identifying areas that require not only repairs, but comprehensive upgrades. We are focused on deploying advanced engineering solutions to ensure that our infrastructure not only meets existing standards, but anticipates and adapts to the evolving needs of our dynamic society. From the development of a smarter transportation networks to incorporating innovative materials and construction methodologies, our aim is to create infrastructure that is not only durable, but also efficient. We envision a future where our citizens experience smoother commutes, safer travels, and a robust infrastructure network that facilitates economic growth and societal progress. And it really is. It is about having the infrastructure put in place. The biggest thing uh, the biggest part of this is going to be bridge and road repairs. You go around the nation, and I know back home in Texas, you go around my home city, and you see streets that need repairs. And when you hear what it's costing the cities just to do a single street, you're talking almost sometimes, or a series of streets, you're talking about sometimes in the cost of about over $1 million. It's time that we provide assistance to our communities so that we can bring this infrastructure up in place. There's a road not too far from my house by Joe Pole Lake, and the bridge is under repair. But the side that is taking all the traffic is starting to see signs of decay. We've got to fix that. And the infrastructure also goes down to our electric vehicles. You know, we've been talking about electric vehicle conversion, and there's been people talking about uh, Michigan candidates talking about how they're going to do it in 20 years. Well, I'm going to make you this pledge here this evening that we won't make the conversion to EV until the infrastructure in this nation is in place. Again, I'm comparing my hometown of DeSoto. We don't have the infrastructure to support EVs. 65,000 people live in our community back home. One charging station that I know of. Think about that. We got to have the infrastructure in place. And this program, this bill, this plan will provide that. You know, and the second point is community development and job creation. That's central to our strategy. It's recognizing the profound impact on our communities. It's not just about construction, it's about creating opportunities. By investing in these improvements, we're stimulating local economies, generating jobs, and breathing new life into neighborhoods, ensuring prosperity reaches every corner of our nation. A long time ago, this goes back probably 40 years ago, there was a stretch of road in Dallas, and I like using my hometown area as an example, and I'm sure there's other examples throughout the great nation of ours. But it was a major uh, piece of road that was going through Dallas. It was a tollway that connected the southern part of Dallas to the northern part of Dallas and the DFW airport. Then President Bush Sr., came down to sign an infrastructure bill, a highway improvement bill. And I remember that just about that trip afterwards, after the bill signing, which happened on the actual land where they were actually building this road, he took the construction workers out to lunch. It had lunch with them. But it shows the how long ago that actually was. That was back in the early 1990s, probably 1999, 1991 or two. That shows how long ago that was. So we need to do more of that throughout our country. Like I said, Harrisburg coming up in a couple of days. We're going to highlight a project that's going on in Harrisburg that is going to do a lot of good for that city. And so stay tuned for that. You know, environmentally responsibility, a cornerstone of this initiative is our commitment to environmental stewardship. And we are incorporating advanced technologies to make our infrastructure more eco-friendly, including significant investments in renewable energy projects such as solar and wind. I know we've heard a lot of talk about that, but again, this is something that we're going to phase into and get to when the infrastructure is available. You know, and it comes down to bipartisanship and legislative support. You know, recognizing the need for collaboration, we emphasize bipartisanship. We call on Congress to unite and pass a comprehensive legislation that not only addresses immediate needs, but sets the foundation for sustained long-term development. You know, in resilience in adverse conditions, understanding the that's hard to say, predictability of the future, our plan prioritizes resilience, strengthening our infrastructure, ensures a quicker recovery in times of crisis. How many of us remember or even know, if we're old enough to remember it, that's good. I'm glad we are. But most of us studied it in school. The interstate highway system in our country. Do you know that was not built for civilian use? That was built as an infrastructure method to transport military vehicles and weapons and that sort of thing across country in an efficient manner. Now we know it's the interstate system throughout the country. It gets us to point A to point B, but originally it was a military infrastructure program. And so under President, I want to say President, President Roosevelt, if I recall right. Maybe wrong on that one, and I'm sure I'll hear about it if I am. But it underscores our nation's ability to rebound from unforeseen challenges. You know, we need to have a forward-looking vision for global competitiveness. Beyond immediate concerns, the plan charts a course for the future. Strategic investments are intended to position the United States as a global leader, not just economically, but also in terms of technological innovation. And really, this ties into our Back to Basics education program. We have to have the people, the workers with the skills to do these jobs. We got to have the electricians. We got to have the builders. We got to have the contractors. And that comes from tech schools. A great story, and this is family related. My brother-in-law came from a family of electricians. His dad, my father-in-law, was a master electrician. My brother-in-law started out going to college. And he found out quickly college wasn't for him. And that's okay. It's not for everybody. But what he did do, he started from the ground up. He went become a journeyman electrician and worked his way up to master electrician, just like my father-in-law. And he works for a major company in Texas, does a great job, a job foreman. He's done a lot of great projects in the Dallas area. But that's also where we can help fuel education. tech and trade schools. And additionally, it's national unity. This initiative transcends political affiliations. It is a collective effort reflecting the enduring spirit of our nation. As we discuss this plan, let us remember that it is an opportunity for our country to work together, irrespective of differences, for the collective betterment of all. And let's think about that. There's so much political division going on now. There's so much hatred going on in this country. Let's sit down, let's discuss the issues, and let's fix the problems that need to be fixed in our country. For our senators and congressmen here today and representatives, let's do what the people have sent you to Washington to do. Let's do their business. Let's fix these problems. In conclusion, let us engage in a thoughtful discourse on this plan, recognizing the potential it holds for progress and more prosperous future. I want to thank you, and may our collaborative efforts pave the way for enduring achievements. And I believe it will. We just work together. I believe there's nothing at all this country cannot accomplish if we just come together as one and work together as one. There's nothing that we can accomplish at all. We can do it. May God bless you. May God bless our country, and may God bless God bless our troops, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much. Thank you.